Welcome back to another captivating episode, my friends. Today we dive deep into one of the most pivotal moments in biblical history, the fall of man. We'll be exploring Genesis 5:1 to Genesis 5:20, a passage packed with profound truths and immense significance. In these verses, we encounter the stark reality of sin's entrance into the world and its sobering consequences. This is not just ancient history. It's a narrative that echoes in the very fabric of our existence today. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's uncover the layers of this transformative story. We begin with Genesis 5:1, where we see the stark contrast from the initial chapters. This is the book of the generations of Adam. Here, we are provided with a lineage, a record of humanity's early years. As we read, it becomes clear that this lineage is not merely a list of names, but a witness to the unfolding consequences of the fall. Each name, each generation, tells a story of human striving, survival, and sadly, of sin's pervasive grip. Let's delve into the specifics of how this chapter plays out. In Genesis 5:3, we learn that Adam lived 130 years and then sired a son in his own likeness, after his image, and named him Seth. What's striking here is the inclusion of the phrase, in his own likeness, after his image. This addition signals a shift from the immaculate image of God to a now flawed human likeness. While humanity retains the image of God, it is now marred by sin because of Adam's disobedience. Moving forward to Genesis 5:4, it states, "The days of Adam after he fathered Seth were 800 years, and he had other sons and daughters." Here, we observe the continuation of life despite the encroaching shadow of death. Adam's extended lifespan reflects the tenacity of human life even in a fallen world, yet it also underscores the tragedy of living in a state of brokenness far longer than anyone would wish. By Genesis 5:5, we read, "Thus all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died." This is a moment that marks the fulfillment of God's warning to Adam in the Garden of Eden. "For in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die." Genesis 2:17. Although Adam didn't die immediately after eating the forbidden fruit, his eventual death underscores the certainty of God's pronouncements. Sin brought death into the world, and no one, not even Adam, could escape its sting. Genesis 5:6 tells us, when Seth had lived 105 years, he fathered Enosh. This lineage continues, but it is more than just a succession of births. Each generation is a whisper of hope and resilience, showing that despite the fallen condition, life still finds a way to persist and even thrive in certain aspects. As we move through Genesis 5:7-8, we notice a pattern. Seth lived after he fathered Enosh 807 years and had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Again, the repetition of "and he died" serves as a solemn reminder. Every birth is a symbol of new potential, but each death is a stark reminder of humanity's mortality post-fall. The rhythm of life and death beats consistently, a clear testament to the new reality brought by sin. Let's pause for a moment and consider what this means for us today. Even in our age of technological advancements and scientific discoveries, we are no different from Seth or Enosh when it comes to the fundamental truths of life and death. In fact, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. How do you relate to the notion of life being both a blessing and a struggle in our current time? Feel free to share in the comments. Continuing, Genesis 5:9-11 recounts the life of Enosh. When Enosh had lived 90 years, he fathered Kenan. Enosh lived after he fathered Kenan 815 years and had other sons and daughters. Thus, all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. Notice how each patriarch lives several centuries, a lifetime unimaginable today, yet their end is the same: death. Despite the long years filled with family and descendants, the somber refrain persists. From Genesis 5:12-14, we learn about Kenan. When Kenan had lived 70 years, he fathered Mahalalel. Kenan lived after he fathered Mahalalel 840 years and had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Kenan were 910 years, and he died. The pattern remains, but these names are not just historical footnotes. Each represents the perseverance of humanity against the threat of death and sin. Genesis 5:15-20 introduces us to Mahalalel. When Mahalalel had lived 65 years, he fathered Jared. Mahalalel lived after he fathered Jared 830 years and had other sons and daughters. Thus all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. Even though the environment around them is fraught with the repercussions of the fall, these generations cling to life, striving to make their mark in a world darkened by transgression. This constant cycle of life and death encapsulated within these passages speaks volumes. It tells us about the enduring human spirit and God's relentless grace in allowing humanity to persist despite its fallen state. In a way, this rhythm sets the stage for the ultimate hope and redemption that is to come. In closing, the genealogies in Genesis 5:1-20, though seemingly simple, carry deep meanings that reverberate through history to our present day. They remind us of our shared mortality, the effects of sin, and the ongoing journey of humanity. This lineage, tracing back to Adam, not only connects us to our earliest ancestors, but prepares us for the arrival of pivotal figures who will further shape God's story. Thank you for joining me in this exploration. If you found these insights thought-provoking, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next episode, where we'll continue unraveling the profound stories of the Bible. And remember, your comments add so much richness to our discussions, so don't hesitate to share your reflections. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep growing in your journey of faith.